It's D&G. That camera angle is not the same camera angle. It's very bright, which is funny because by the end of the show it's going to be dark and we're going to need to turn the light on. That's much better. That is a great one. It's my old play.
Yeah,
there we go. Hello, Brian. Yeah, I know. I'm just adding that in there for now. Hello, Brian. Unfortunately, all the awesome banter that started the show has now been lost.
Really?
So it's going to suck audio-wise for everyone watching and listening to the YouTubes and all that kind of stuff. So let's just do a quick, even though we're 3-4 minutes in, let's do a quick recap of awesomeness. It's DG&B. Do you want to go camping? And that's it.
I'm trying to work out how to do the B. No, that's a 6.
That's a D.
Is that a B?
No, that's just your hand. That's a B.
Hey.
Sort of. There you go. But you'd have to move the and, wouldn't you? Anyway. Even though you wouldn't notice, and I'm sure no one else has noticed, they actually have not moved.
Oh, really?
That is the exact same spot they were
That's
last
awesome.
week. That is our the only thing we have on the walls now is D&G.
Pretty cool.
And the audio is not working at all or anything. So you keep talking and I'm going to fiddle around down here.
That's what she said.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
This is weird. Every single week, it gets to this. Your walls are talking. It gets to this time on a Sunday, and I just think, where is the weekend gone?
Yeah. Is that because your weekend is active, or because you're...
It's inactive but boring. I watched a movie Friday night.
Yep.
And then I stayed up till 2 a.m. and of course I woke up at like 7 a.m. as I always do.
I don't know how you... there we go. We've got some better audio, hopefully, just
Cool.
now. I don't know how you... I should put mine further away because yours is further away, so then the volumes might be even. What happens if I turn that down? That looks better. There we go.
There we go.
Starting to even out a little bit.
I don't know how you...
I don't know how you stay up to 2 a.m. when your body clock and your natural wake-up time is around 7 for not only work but training and stuff as well.
Well, my natural time of waking up used to be like 10 past 5 when Chris would get up, but now Domino's doesn't open until 5:30.
Yeah.
Not 5:30, till 6:15. She
gets up a whole 15 minutes later.
Yeah. So
my alarms now are set for 5:15, 5:30 and 5:45. And I get up like clockwork pretty much in amongst those hours and those times.
I've never had to use my alarm to wake me up for a very long time.
Is that a natural body clock just bang you're awake every day at that time?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, because mine's for work, I have it there as a safety.
Yeah, just in case.
I can't miss it, so it's just there just in case. I make sure that I'm up at that time. But yes, 5:30 is pretty much my standard wake up time and has been for quite a while, working both gardening and coffee stuff. And I quite like it. I've gotten into a really good habit lately of sleep in bed between 10 and 11. Sleep by 10:30 type, and then up at 5:30.
Yeah, I've got to get in the habit of going to bed earlier.
It's not quite enough for me. I do get to Thursday, Friday, and I'm tired, and I need and I have bags under my eyes, but I've just gotten used to it with the timing so far. So it works well.
That's why I always wear glasses to protect me from bags under my eyes.
Yeah,
I've always got them as well.
So you talk for a bit whilst I send a message, a massage linking to the show.
Yep.
To someone who was not aware of our podcast.
I found out something really, really awesomely interesting during the week from looking on Brian's page.
Oh, okay.
Brian is, like myself, a massive fan of Twin Peaks, and I think that is awesome. And I don't know if you heard during the week, it was last week or the week before.
I saw both you and Brian posting stuff about it.
That's pretty awesome. I don't know. I'd love to know Brian's opinion on what they're going to do with season 3.
Say it for the people that are watching or whatever.
So they are can't even say redoing. They're restarting Twin Peaks from where they left it off, 20 years ago? 20-something years ago? So, yeah, I'm quite excited about that. Because they kind of left it open to keep going, but then they just never kept going. Here we go.
What? Oh, here he is. Fucking pumped, Dale.
Yeah, pretty much.
25 years ago.
25 years. Shit, was it that long? 92 or 90... Oh, yeah. Probably about that long. Yeah, so... I don't know why they're doing it now, but I'm very glad that David Lynch is back on board. I don't know how if they're gonna recast, or Brian probably knows because he's probably paid more attention, because I have no attention to pay at the moment.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned this before that I haven't actually watched Twin Peaks.
I heard.
I downloaded a copy once and it turned out to have Russian audio. So I was like, well, I can't even pay attention to this. This is going to ruin it. I really do think I should watch it. I think I should push through and force myself to watch. And not to suggest that I wouldn't enjoy it and force myself, but force myself to get through it in a short amount of time, so that we can then start talking about it.
Well, I mean, it's only 2 seasons, but it's
how many episodes?
I don't even know. Like, the first people were kind of hooked in the first because of the Who Killed Laura Palmer.
That was the first season?
Yeah, I think it was first and maybe a little bit into the second, but it got a little bit weirder, I should say, after that.
Now, Brian is giving us information, hence why Brian needs to be an honorary member of the show. Laura Palmer said in the Black Lodge, I'll see you again in 25 years. Now, is Lynch directed and wrote the whole thing?
Yep.
Has he been interviewed about this and asked, was this your plan?
Again,
don't know.
Well, Brian would probably know more than I would. I've since finding out about it, I got reasonably excited, but didn't have time to do any internet-based research.
Yep. Bummer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good callback though, Brian, with the see you in 25 years.
Who Killed Laura storyline was about the first 15, 16 episodes. Yeah. Is that the first season, Brian, or is that first season and a bit?
I think it goes into the second season, from what I can remember.
But yeah, it's one of those shows, like I haven't seen it, but I know about it. If someone said, Who Killed Laura Palmer, I'd be like, oh, Twin Peaks. Someone showed me some of the imagery and stuff, I'd be like, oh, Twin Peaks. There's a lot, it's one of those shows that just made it into the pop culture seamlessly, but so firmly. It's in there. Like you can't ignore Twin Peaks. It's one of those shows. It's like people who were like anti The Simpsons when they first came on, and it's like you can't ignore The Simpsons because it's a show that's big. Seinfeld the same. It's one of those shows that's just huge, regardless of whether you've seen it or not. Brian is saying the first whole season and about 7 episodes of season 2. Well, that's good. I think that should be something I'll watch. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh God, I had Twin Peaks on VHS. I had a whole box set of it on VHS, and then of course when it came out on DVD, I bought that. I haven't splurged and bought the Blu-ray yet, but I'm thinking, oh look, if I ever have money again, that'll be a thing to do. What's Brian got? David and
Frost really haven't said anything yet, or who will be in it, or for that matter. So it's really hush-hush, he's saying.
But I don't think they're starting it until... Oh, they're not starting it right away. Like, it's a couple of years, maybe 2015, 2016. Again, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong with that. But,
he will.
it's just one of those shows that I just watched. And I remember watching it when I was... I don't know if that camera's going to pick that up.
Can't quite see what that is, but that's a shame.
That's okay. Should we take the camera to it?
No, I think the person who will enjoy that can see what it is, and that's enough. I think he can recognise himself. I genuinely think I'm going to try and work on something better for next week for that though. 2015, probably this time next year. Yeah. That's pretty quick if they've only just announced it. I'm assuming they've got most of it written. But if they're going to if they're going to recast it, or even if they are going to get the same cast, that's a difficult task in finding availability and all that kind of stuff.
From what I know, a couple of them have actually died. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, that'll be a problem.
That's always that is always a problem.
One of my favourite characters died.
You mean favourite actors?
Yeah, the actors that played by the characters.
So that actually, I actually really like the look of that. Having
There's
it sitting
a fish in the percolator.
Sure.
That was what I think.
Yeah, I guessed. So, Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
That's a big deal.
Can't wait.
Excellent.
Yeah. We're on a real David Lynch frenzy.
I've never gotten into his stuff. You don't have to keep touching it. The battery's not that long at the moment. It's in the red.
Okay.
I've never quite watched any of his stuff.
Really? You haven't seen Lost Highway? Haven't seen Mulholland Drive?
No.
Haven't seen it yet. You've seen Eraserhead. Everyone's seen Eraserhead.
No, I haven't seen Eraserhead.
Far out.
I unintentionally, it's not like I've ever said, fuck David Lynch, I'm not going to watch any of his stuff. I've just unintentionally never seen any of his stuff. I really do need to watch some of his stuff, because again, it's one of those guys and one of those Ortez, if you want to call it that,
Ortez.
who is just so part of the pop culture. The name David Lynch is known. It's not a name, like, I know the name. So I do need to watch it, or watch some of his stuff. I mean, Mulholland Drive's, like, recent and well-respected. And it's got lesbians in it, doesn't it?
It does.
Melissa George being a bit of a lesbian?
She gets a kiss, but
she just gets
no
a kiss.
lesbian
She doesn't
sex.
get really
lesbian
lesbian.
sex between Naomi Watts and Laura Herring, or whatever her name is.
Okay.
That's all right. It's pretty good. Yeah, I remember I went and saw, for those of you playing at home, I went and saw Mulholland Drive at Classic Cinema in Austinwick.
Yep.
And I don't know why, but I decided to get really, really stoned before watching a David Lynch movie. I got in there. And
this is what I'm talking about, David Lynch. Even I know that's not a good idea.
No.
And I've never seen him. You got in there?
I got in there, and for the first half hour of the movie, oh, Jesus. Please tell me we got that on film.
Yes. I kind of assumed that was going to happen at some point.
For the first half hour of the movie, I couldn't tell if I was watching a horror, a drama, a comedy. Oh, I'm just waiting for this to reset. I bet you it's going to reset and it's already dropped.
Yeah, it's already dropped. You're going to miss it. Don't worry, I'll post it as a highlight at some point. Yeah, so you didn't know what you were watching.
No, I didn't know what I was watching.
A, it was a David Lynch, and B, you were really intoxicated.
Yes, because there's a scene right at the very start, like within the first 10 minutes or so, where, you know, like one of those in a movie when something really, like, frightening kind of happens, like, you know, someone will just walk into a room out of nowhere.
Yep.
That happens in this, but the guy doesn't walk into a room, and it scared the shit out of me. And then later on, as the movie wound in, there's this one bit where they go to a club, and there's a woman singing, you know, Roy Orbison's song "Crying." You know,
Sing it to me.
No, I'm not going to sing it. Right? Very famous song. Roy Orbison probably didn't write it. Someone else probably wrote it. But anyway, there's a woman singing that, but she sings it completely in Spanish.
Ah.
And I don't know why, but I started weeping. It's been used in heaps of other TV shows.
That's not surprising, though. A good emotional song, and if you're stoned,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yep.
I remember I saw The Filth and the Fury, the doco on the Sex Pistols, very stoned.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was awake for half of it and didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was asleep for the middle third, and then for the last part, I was awake and just like, I still don't know what's going on. Yeah, that was a very interesting night. Got way too stoned.
I think I've only been way too stoned twice in my life.
Oh, I've been at least a handful.
Yeah.
Sitting on a beanbag feeling like I was falling, and then opening my eyes feeling like I was rushing back again, and then slowly nodding off and doing the whole thing again repetitively. That's what happens when you smoke a bunch and then you have birthday cake with weed in it, and then you smoke a little bit more. That was intense. But yeah.
Camping.
What about it?
It was intense.
Oh, yeah. So I've got a joke for you.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that I've got a joke for you. They're thinking, you know how they're doing the Expendables and they're having the big celebrities, big action stars come back?
Yes.
They're thinking of doing like just a 3-person one with Schwarzenegger, Stallone, and Bruce Willis.
Yep.
The three of them are going to be like just not a 3 Musketeers, but just a three guys, not the big Expendables thing.
Yep.
But the weird thing that they're doing is they're going to base it on classical composers. It's going to be the character stuff. Willis has said that he's going to base his on Handel.
Yep.
Stallone said he was going to be, I think, Mozart or something. And then Schwarzenegger said, "I'll be back."
That's pretty funny.
I told that to Jamie in the car yesterday, and I just started telling it. I didn't tell her it's a joke.
Yeah.
And she believed, like, she thought I was telling a real thing until I said, "I'll be back," and she and I lost my shit.
Is that alright? Or?
Yeah, I'll refresh it. I assume Brian can hear us and is A-okay, but I'll refresh it. Yeah, I lost my absolute shit when I told Jamie that joke. It was fantastic. Just because at one point... Oh, you missed seeing the thing. just because I just started telling it, and then it was such a bad punchline, and yeah,
Are you going back? So
she just groaned. I want you to watch it.
Cool.
I want you to see it. But I was gonna.
I told you to fuck off.
No,
and we have confirmation. Jamie had told him to fuck off.
Jamie told me to fuck off when I said when I told her the I'll be back joke, because it was that bad, and that's when I absolutely lost my shit. It was fantastic.
This is going to be classic.
Oh, what was that? So we've done an absolutely stupid thing, guys. We're watching the show. We've got the camera feed, and then we've also got down here, we've got the actual show that you guys are watching, which is where the chat room and stuff is. We do this every week just so that we can see the chat room effectively. And Dale really wanted to see the phone and the letter G fall down and smack him in the arm or the shoulder or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it looks like that there... Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like there's an actual skip on that in the live feed. So, and just as Brian is saying, some lag skipping a bit.
So does that mean we've lost it for good?
I don't know. We might have lost it for good. I will have to go through... I'm now going to have
annals of the archive.
I'm now going to have to watch the video file when I upload it and see if I can find it for you.
Cool.
I will cut it out and hopefully try and send it as an Instagram or something.
That'd be cool
for everyone to see. Or I should do it as like a Vine or something so we can watch it in repeat.
Good.
Just as a GIF or GIF the whole time.
Good.
Because that was kind of funny. And also, if anyone ever comments and says, "Why isn't the G straight?" There's a
story.
There's a funny story behind it now as well.
Yeah.
Also, can I just say, speaking of the background, last week we made a comment about having a bunch of stuff all up with it.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's watching, because there's now apparently 3 people watching, even though I know one's Brian, one's me, and then there's somebody else, please feel free to send us stuff. If you get in touch via the Facebook group, well, we'll stick money up there. American dollars don't work here, so if you've got an American dollar, stick it up there. Or Canadian. Which country? There's a country I saw during the week. They're planning on going with a real pixelated image on their currency. I think it might have been Canada, because they've got fancy coloured money like ours. Please feel free to send us stuff, and we will stick it up on the wall. Get in touch via the Facebook group, and we'll definitely stick it up on the wall. So yeah. We watched Gone Girl last night.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, see it.
Really? I know.
I was actually on the edge of my seat, and we were sitting here discussing.
Oh, did you watch it on?
Yeah, we watched an illegally cammed version.
Okay.
And even though it was a shitty cam, and when I say shitty, I mean part of the guy's jacket kept coming into the shot, and it kept focusing on that and the jacket. It was absolutely terrible cam.
Yeah.
But it still grabbed our attention.
Oh, wow.
And we were still sitting there at the end of it going, and discussing it whilst it was happening and stuff. It was damn good. So I recommend it, Gone Girl, to everyone. It's
one of those things that like, it just makes me sick that you've got all these people that this movie comes out and then everywhere you go is reading the book.
Yeah.
Like...
It's gotten to a point now that, people, when they see a movie come out and then they hear that it's a book...
Yeah, they want to read the book
first. They quickly want to go and read the book because the book's always supposedly thing.
Weird things happening with the video. Just skip back time to repeat.
That is our version of Back to the Future, Chris, where we're now in the future. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what... It's saying anti-lag delay to the user, local recording is complete. So it looks like the recording of it is going to be okay for those on YouTube. I apologise to those streaming. These things happen, unfortunately. We've got a suburban internet connection, so I don't know. I honestly don't know what else I could be doing to try and fix it. So I apologise for those, because we do appreciate those who actually take the time to watch as it's going, as we're recording, as we're going live. Sorry.
So Gone Girl, good?
Gone Girl, good.
Gone Girl, good.
Gone Girl, good.
Gone Girl, good. Yeah, I don't know. I was saying to Chris the other day, I've just really felt like going to the movies, but there's just nothing at the movies at the moment.
I recommend Gone Girl.
Really?
I honestly would tell you to go to it. I get the feeling that you and Chris, somewhat like Jamie and I, are pretty solid at the moment, and that's a good thing when you go to see this film.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
it's about their relationship.
Yep.
I remember I read a few different little things about Gone Girl saying, don't go and see it as a first date movie.
Okay.
Don't go and see it if you're as a date night for your struggling relationship, that kind of stuff, because it is very much yay it's very much relationshipy in that that's where the tension and everything is. So yeah, be secure in your relationship, because I remember watching it and thinking, it's one of those. Things that I read suggested that it wasn't good for relationships, yet I actually felt more secure and more happy about my relationship after watching it.
Fair enough.
Mainly because it's fucking nuts. Yeah, it's good. Anyway.
Does Ben Affleck wear the batsuit in it? Or?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no references to Batman, which I thought was a bit disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, hello! First comment ever. Feed is skipping. I apologise, Dan. It's not our fault. Please don't hurt us. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's causing the thing. It says here perfect streaming on our end, so I do apologise. We won't be offended if you leave if it's not working right. If it's not working, yeah. You'll just have to catch the YouTube during the week. There's nothing more we can do. Apart from, if everyone sends us money, we can then get a better internet connection and we can have our own little studios and all that kind of stuff, which I would love.
Yeah.
I'd love to have
Nice.
D&G Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a ring to it, doesn't it?
With a werewolf out the front.
Well, no, we don't want to. Although we would have to get Brian in to be our helper guy, pet guy.
Yep.
And then we could do the Brian, even though that doesn't happen very often, because he seems to have kept his mouth shut during the serious guests.
He has, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good at that now. Anyway, instead of commenting on another podcast,
Whoa.
Don't swing your mic around. Instead of commenting on another podcast, anything else?
No. Been watching an awesome TV show.
Okay.
Well, because I was quite sick towards the mid and the end of last week. I had a chance to catch up on all the TV shows I'm massively lacking behind in.
Yep.
What did I watch?
I watched this awesome TV show.
I know what that was.
What was it?
I know what that was. I'm trying to think of all the other ones I caught up on.
Oh, okay. Vikings?
Nah, I'm done with that. I've missed the season 2.
Season 3 is about to start again, and I have to watch the last bunch of episodes of
Yeah.
season 2 so that I can catch up, because I do want to watch it more. I just, for some reason, am not that motivated to it at the moment. I went on such a tear when Vikings started. I was watching Vikings documentaries and reading stuff, and I should reread a bit of Northlanders again.
Yeah.
I've talked about Northlanders on here. It's a Brian Wood Vikings series. It's great. If you like comics, check that out.
Fair enough.
Back to TV. I was trying to give you some time to think of the TV shows.
I know what TV show I was watching. But
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the ones I caught up on.
Yep.
So I watched a couple more episodes of what was that other one? I can't remember what the other one was. Anyway, I've lost it. But
You watched Lost?
no, I've lost it.
Oh, okay.
But I started watching is this TV show it's called Republic of Doyle. That
Sounds familiar.
well, it's set in Newfoundland. So with my obsession needing to know everything about Newfoundland before I go.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I've watched them I've started watching this show, and it is so good. It's got the classic comedy crime drama formula.
Okay.
Whereas you watch the show and you get it like there's a mystery that's happened, and you've got to. It's always there's the first suspect, and it's never the first suspect.
No.
Then there's another suspect, and it could possibly be them, and then they die. So of course it's not them, and then weird shit happens in the middle, and then you find out it's someone else.
It's someone they didn't even exist.
Someone that didn't you know. But there's a constant in every episode. You always have the main character Jake Doyle. He either gets punched in the face, or he makes out has sex with a really beautiful woman. Every episode. Yep. So yeah, he's a private detective who used to be a cop, and he works with a private detective agency with his father.
Good.
Yeah.
So you'd recommend that?
Oh, it's friggin' awesome. Such a funny, good show.
Is it just because of Newfoundland?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to learn how to skate before you go to
ice skate?
Yeah.
No, God no.
Because you know that's all they do. That's their pastime. You're going to have to go down the rink.
Well, they drink a lot.
Okay.
So I'm stuffed there as well.
You're stuffed there as well.
Yeah.
And you're just like, did you guys want to do some jiu-jitsu? And they're like, no. Let's go skate. You should learn how to punch a bit then. So you can do no, you don't want to do that either. You know, I don't think you're going to get on well then. Let's go ice skating. We'll get some footage for the show. It'll be worth it for the show. Come on.
I'll fall flat on my ass.
That's the point. That's why it'll be good for the show.
That's what I watch Friday night. No, Thursday night. I watched this show called Where This Is Where I Leave You, or Where... Anyway, Jason Bateman's new movie.
Yep.
Which everything he touches turns to gold.
Okay.
So, yes.
Let's for everyone at home go through a few of these other...
Well, Arrested Development is just... That's what kickstarted it. There was
American Psycho?
That's Patrick Bateman, who's a character. I had this exact conversation with Chris the other day in the kitchen. There's this awesome movie he did with Ryan Reynolds where I have to explain it exactly as I explained it to Chris in the kitchen.
Okay.
So it's two guys who are talking about how awesome their lives are.
Yep.
Right? And then something happens. They swap.
Yep.
So they both piss into a fountain.
And one's a husband with two kids, and the other one's like a player and stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Chris says it's quite funny. Like in St. John's where it's set, there's no crime there, but this show is about crime. Yeah.
Well, it's like the TV show Blue Heelers.
There's no crime in Blue Heelers?
There was no... It was a country town.
Yeah.
Yet, for some reason, they had two detectives, or a detective and 8 uniform, and there was always some controversy going on and stuff like that. We've lost it. What were you saying?
Jason Bateman.
Yes.
His awesome shows. The Change Up, which was with Jennifer Aniston, that was really good. Even his little role in Dodgeball, where he plays that, it's a bold move, Cotton.
I can't remember.
You haven't seen Dodgeball?
I've seen it, but I can't remember.
He only plays a small part. He plays like the commentator for the Dodgeball tournament. And he's got that classic line, he's trying this, that's a bold move, Cotton, let's see if it pays off.
Okay.
Anyway, that's his line. What else are we saying?
I'm really enjoying Arrow at the moment, if we want to go TV shows. They've only done 2 or 3 episodes. Quite enjoying where they're going with that. They've already had a bit of a death. And when I say a bit of a death, I mean a death. Not just... She was 3% dead.
Do you hear about Mabel? Oh, she had a bit of a death.
She's fine now. She's fine now. It's okay. No, she's fine. So yeah, there's already been a death of a main character.
Shit. Is it Gary Arrow?
Gary Arrow. But then there may have been a death of a main character, but what was hinted at the end of last season has again been hinted at, and that character is going to continue on with someone else playing that superhero. I don't want to spoil it too much.
Is it Batman?
No. I don't know if anyone actually watches Arrow of our followers, but I don't want to spoil it too much if you haven't seen it. I'm also enjoying Gotham. You've got to remember when you watch Gotham, though, I've found that, you know how when you read Batman comics, they make it up themselves. Like, they can change little things and stuff themselves to fit their world. Each Batman comic you read is almost a new universe with which Batman is in. For instance, Batman Year 100, which I've recommended on this show, is set in a world where somebody else took over Batman every bunch of years.
Yep.
And it spent 100 years where people didn't know who Batman was. It wasn't one of those ones where Batman definitely is real within a few years of him being on the show, being on the scene. So you remember with Gotham that they've tweaked it a little bit. They've changed a few things around. To be honest, that's what Arrow have done as well. They've changed a few little things. So Gotham, I'm enjoying. I recommend Gotham if you like superhero. If you like comics and superhero comics, not the kind of comics that you've been recommending lately, which are good comics, of course. But if you like superhero comics where there's a bit of tongue in cheek, it's a bit ridiculous. It's obviously not real, but there's a bit of sense of humor with it. Then I recommend Gotham.
Everyone keeps asking me.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at little shimmies I'm doing with my shoulder.
Yep.
Everyone keeps asking me, "Oh, what do you think of Gotham?" I haven't watched it.
Yeah. Well, because
I'm not really into Batman. I love Christopher Nolan's Batmans. I love them. I was having this conversation with Chris today. The Batman Returns with Catwoman and the Penguin.
I've got to rewatch. I haven't watched that in ages.
Yep. But I've read the Night of Owls, and I think that's probably the only Batman comic I've ever read. And I love the Night of Owls.
Ever?
Yep.
You haven't read Long Halloween or Dark Knight Returns, or
I've got which is the one with it's got the Joker on the front cover.
The Killing Joke.
Killing Joke. The kid I volunteer with, he bought that, and I was meant to borrow it off him, but I always forgot.
I'm amazed. I thought that you had read more Batman,
No.
but I assumed that you'd read Batman, you'd gotten enough of the superhero stuff, and then you'd drifted off into the other stuff.
No.
I freaking love Batman. I absolutely love Batman. I mean, I love... there's certain Batmans that are better than others, but Long Halloween is just fantastic.
Yeah.
You should read Long Halloween because that's practically the basis in the relationships between the characters, not the storyline, but the basis for Nolan's Batman.
Is it?
Very much. He wrote it... The copy that I have, or had, because I think I've lost it, had an introduction from Nolan.
There you go.
He very influenced by that. The whole relationship between Harvey Dent, Batman, and Gordon is from Long Halloween. It's a fantastic whodunit. And the same, I remember reading, I bought a Catwoman called When in Rome. I read that, and that is set during the time of Long Halloween, because Catwoman goes and does all this stuff and they just hint at it. And I read that one before I read Long Halloween. I remember reading Long Halloween going, oh, I know where she is and what she's doing, and I know what that reference is and stuff, and it was really cool. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Batman stuff.
Yeah.
Also, whilst I interrupt, the coming Batman versus Superman, from everything we're seeing, is heavily influenced by Dark Knight Returns.
Is it?
Are you at all interested in Batman Superman? Not at all. Okay, well there you go.
I mean, look, I've never read a Superman comic. I don't think I probably have. I just don't remember. But I was not wrapped with the latest Superman movie. 40-minute epic battle was a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Look, I'm sure Ben Affleck will be, a great Batman when he's not talking about his fucking khakis. But, I don't know.
He's not naturally got a Boston accent. He put that on for...
he's from Boston.
Yeah, but he doesn't have, when he acts, a full-on Boston accent.
I think he does. I think he puts it on for every movie.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Boston
Chris,
Batman.
my new favourite thing is
I'm the
talking like Boston sea hags. The women.
Give me an example.
Oh, you're fucking me so good.
So it's going to be a Boston Batman. So
it is.
Be,
it is.
I'm the goddamn Batman. No, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
That was a terrible Boston accent. I apologise. I've never really tried a Boston accent.
Really? I see why.
And I get into trouble for doing South African accents, so I'm not going to do that.
Bloody Aussie bastards.
Don't say it too loud. She'll come out and hit us.
Really?
She doesn't like them. Oh, what was that? That was
That was
Irish.
Indian.
That was Irish Indian. I am doing a very bad Irish accent. Oh no, it's South African. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I got...
We should do a whole show of South Africans one day.
Oh, no. I got a...
Welcome to
I
the
got one of
D&G
those-
show. What was that? I'm going to stop right now.
Let's
I can't.
stop.
My accents are terrible. Sorry.
Let's stop.
Yep.
I got a little card in the mail saying that there's something at the post office for you, which usually means that
Oh, for you.
usually means my mailman is too lazy to walk to my front door and leave the package on the front door.
What a bastard.
Right? However, it's interesting to know that he doesn't just leave. He will put packages. If I order like something that's a package,
A box,
a
yeah.
box, he'll put that on my doorstep. But this, he won't put it on. And I always know what it is.
So it's a comic, I'm assuming?
It was a comic.
Yep.
Right? So I got to go to the thing to get a comic. And I was trying to rack my brain what comics have come out that I haven't got yet. Because I got Saga a couple of weeks before. I was really happy with that.
Is that kicking ass just as much as we hoped?
I haven't read it yet.
Oh, okay.
Sex Criminals, issue 8. I was so happy. Haven't read that either. But the usual Sex Criminals sex tips are in the back. Of course, I read them straight away. And my new favourite one was spice things up in the bedroom by using a vacuum cleaner. If your fetish is emergency rooms. Yeah. I did see, going back to the callback to what we were saying before, I did see a bit of Gotham the other night.
Yes.
They did an encore screening of Gotham, and I saw the very pivotal scene where young Bruce's...
Batman's parents?
Yes.
Bruce's parents are killed?
Bruce's parents are killed. Spoiler!
Shock!
And I got to the bit where it was, hello, I'm James Gordon, and what is your name? Oh, no, he said, oh, you must be the new guy. I'm Alfred Pennyworth. And I just thought to myself, who the fuck is this young cunt, and how is he going to look after Bruce Wayne? But I realised it was Bruce Wayne's a kid.
They've gone with I think it's in Batman Noel?
Noir.
No, not Noir. Noel. I think it's Noel.
Oh, Batman Noel.
No.
The Aussie one, Noel.
Batman Noel. Batman in the Outback. He's stripped off all the gear and he's just like, God, it's fucking hot. That wasn't meant to
God,
be.
it's fucking hot.
That was just it. I'm trying to remember. That's not what I want.
I'm Batman.
I'm the goddamn Batman. I don't know what that was either. I can't remember what it was. It's Batman Noel, I think, where Alfred is an old friend of Thomas Wayne's from like the war days, and he just happens to be in town when, like, to visit when Thomas and Martha are killed, and he then unbeknownst to him, he was the, what's it called, the
Dark Knight.
he was Batman. He didn't even know. And no, he was the one that was assigned to look after Bruce. It wasn't that he was a butler as such. He's an ex-war vet and knows how to sew him up, but also says, you're not ready for this, and tries to kick his ass and stuff like that.
That was me sewing
That
up.
was you sewing. That wasn't you trying to get me to wind it up.
Yeah.
And so in Gotham, they've gone with that kind of Batman. Oh, that kind of Alfred. He's a little bit harder, and he's not just, yes, Master Wayne, yes, whatever. He's like, stop doing that, and practice sword fighting and stuff with him. So, that's what they've done. But I do like what they're doing with the Bruce character, because he's not the focus of the show. He is just one of the characters, and he is trying to investigate things and find out things, and they're showing. What's cool is they're showing his sort of, I want to be something, I want to fix things, I want to find out who killed my parents, which obviously sets him up then for learning how to fight going away and all that kind of stuff.
What other characters are there from the superhero characters they're setting up? Is
Okay,
Harley Quinn?
Not yet. What I don't what I don't like about the show so far is the way they just happen. They've changed, as I said, they've made little tweaks and stuff, and I can understand someone that doesn't know the backstory of Batman too well, or hasn't read too much, wouldn't have a problem with this. But they've set it up so that Edward Nygma, the Riddler, works as a forensic scientist guy at Gotham City PD.
Of course he does.
Cobblepot used to be a helper for one of the gangster characters, the new character that's being developed for the show, Fish Mahoney.
Is that Jada Pinkett Smith?
Jada Pinkett Smith. Yep. Not as bad as you originally might have thought she would be in the show. He used to do that. Now he's trying to work his way up within, I think it's the Falcone crime gang. They're doing the whole Falcone and Maroney references, which is great. The fact they've referenced Year One by putting Bullock and Gordon together, which is really cool. The Bullock character's not quite the same as the Year One character, but has a lot of similarities. That's a really good idea that they've put them together, and now he has to try and work out how to live within Gotham. They've set it up so that Catwoman is a young girl like Bruce, who's a street girl, homeless, etc., who happened to see the killing of the Waynes. That I didn't like.
What's her character's name?
Selena Kyle.
It is Selena Kyle. So it's not Eartha Kitt or something.
No. The one that they changed that people did get a bit pissed off was in the first episode. There was a small reference to Poison Ivy, but they had her as having a different name. A lot of people were like, "Oh, that's ridiculous. Poison Ivy's name is Pamela Isley. It shouldn't be changed." A lot of people then said, "You idiots! She's going to go into foster care and stuff and have all the psychological damage, which then turns her into Poison Ivy, and she's going to change her name when she comes out." That makes complete sense. So yeah, they've got a few of those. Who else? That's about all that they've referenced so far.
No.
There was
one of the Joker's many names.
Oh, he never had any.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was just in Burton's version. There was a guy on stage telling jokes in one of the first episodes. Some people were like, "Oh, is that a reference to the Joker?" Given that in some versions of the Joker, he was originally a stand-up comic before he became like the Red Hood and stuff. So towards the end, they could make him the Red Hood, and they could do it that way. But that then depends on your age thing, because that makes him at least like 10, possibly 15 or 20 years older than Bruce. So is the Joker the same age as Bruce, or is he older? Again, it's their world, they can do whatever they want. We haven't had any Mr. Freeze yet. Grundy hasn't been referenced, Clayface hasn't been referenced, any of them.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. It's going to be a cold time in the town tonight. Ha ha ha. There's a terrible accent again. I'm going to stop it for this episode. They're making references and stuff. I think they're probably going to try to do it similar to Arrow and not make it too obvious.
Did you watch Smallville?
No, but I downloaded it with the intent to watch it because it was one of those ones that people were like,
"Hey, Aquaman's in this." Everyone hates him.
But if you're into and you understand superhero comics, apparently it was good. But if you weren't, then you didn't like it. Okay. That's the impression I got for Smallville, which again I would like to try and start watching. That is one of them when I've got time by myself I should watch. So yeah. Can I ask? I was going to ask this before. Those listening and watching and stuff, just give us a few comments on the audio. Is it acceptable? You may notice that Dale has his in roughly the same position that he always does, but I've got mine. It's slightly off camera, but it's a lot further away than I normally have. So I was just curious. Just wanted to find out.
I don't think anyone's listening.
They might not be. They haven't commented for a bit, but they might be just listening and enjoying. We've still got 2 other people watching, apparently, so... See, because there's 2 other people there, so I'm assuming that they're still watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway,
The other question I was quickly going to ask in terms of while we're just quickly on the superhero TV shows, has The Flash come out yet?
yes,
Is
2
it good?
episodes. I'm still waiting.
For it to be good?
I'm waiting for it to get worthy of repetitive watching.
Mhm.
You know how you've got those comics where there's a tie into a comic that you're already reading, and you're like, oh, I'll check that out for the tie-in,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go, oh, okay, I'll give this a shot. You watch a little bit more, and then you go, yeah, I'm not motivated to pick it up again. I'm not motivated to think. That's what I think could happen with Flash. So far, I'm like, it's not bad. When it's as easy for me with the way I do it over at the TV over there, of clicking the download button as one of the few shows. Because I don't watch that many shows. When I have it so easily, just like, oh, grab it, watch it, that kind of stuff. Yeah, but if I had to cut out a show right now, that would be
Fair enough.
possibly on the block. Just because I enjoy Arrow more.
Fair enough. That was the other show that came back and I watched. American Horror Story.
Yes.
Oh, just as good as every other season.
There are a few episodes in.
The 2 has just come out. I haven't watched the second one yet, though. Didn't have time to do
The
that.
interesting thing about that show, from what I believe, is that it changes every season.
Every season the same actors.
Yeah,
But
it's ensemble.
but they always play different characters. However, in saying that, there is a character from the second season that is the same actress playing pretty much the same character, because she played in the second season. It was in a madhouse, and she played one of those, like the pinheads, with like in the freak shows they have the pinheads. Look it up. You'll see. Look it up. Pinheads. Get in? Those ones. Those things.
What the?
Yeah. So she played a character like that in the second season.
What's the And there's a band there as well.
Pinhead Gunpowder.
What's the what's it called on this? The actual illness.
Microcephalia.
Microcephalia. Whoa, can I... Oh, sorry. Just give me 1 second here, folks. I just noticed something somewhat interesting. I don't want to offend anyone. I'm posting this up purely as a tidbit of bygone eras. But that's a swastika jumper. Both of them.
I think it's facing the wrong way.
So that's the positive good luck sign?
It's the love, life, lesbians, lycanthropy.
Lascivious. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That's I just noticed that. That's so this very well that could be an image from. There's a caption down the bottom there. I don't think we're gonna. Oh, actually, we might be able to read that.
Swastika coat of arms. I don't know. Look, I don't know.
20th century ancient Aztecs, Aurora and Natalie, with their manager Max Klaus. They travelled with the circus. That's all we get.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just crazy interesting.
So yeah, watched.
So wait a second. One of the characters on the show played one of these people. What is going on?
That's just fucked up.
That's just, you can't.
Go back up. Go back up to the so you can write stuff down to search. The word pepper, pinheads, pepper.
I don't know whether is this politically correct.
Yeah, no. What this?
I do. You got to feel sorry for these people.
Okay, so that's.
Oh, okay. That's
the. But she's that's what she looks like normally. Like, so it's all makeup and.
Okay, so let's get a. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So she's not an unattractive woman.
She's an attractive woman. If you're into, she's not. I was going to say if you're into that, but she's an attractive woman.
Yeah.
And that's her on the left, and that's her character on the right. Wow.
So she plays that character again in the latest one. because it's, she can get away with being a circus sideshow freak. Like she shaves her head down, and it's a face piece here.
Yeah, it's very much going to be a face piece on the jaw, so that it makes it look like her head is smaller than the rest, and the ears are much lower set. Obviously, fake teeth and eyebrows and stuff. So she actually shaves her head.
Yep.
I remember a very long time ago, watching The Amazing Race with my sister. There was a character.
We're getting dark.
We are getting dark. If you can turn it on if you want.
Yeah.
I remember.
Good catch.
I remember my I thought you didn't turn it on for a second.
No, it takes a second.
In the show, as part of one of the competitions and stuff, the woman had to shave her head.
Yep.
Both of them were meant to shave their head,
yep.
But the guy was already a shaved head individual. She decided to shave her head, and she was crying, and I was like, come on, it's just shaving your head, it's not that big a deal. And my sister explained that no, it's a big deal for a girl to shave her head. So I've always thought to myself, that's dedication from an actress if a woman just chooses to shave her head. That said though, I used to have back in the day shoulder length long hair. It took me months to get round to shaving it when I wanted to shave it one time. And I actually on numerous occasions stood in front of the mirror with the clippers and was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to do it? And I had previously had a shaved head, and I still was like, nervous about it. So I can't imagine if you're a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old, you've always had hair down to here, how just crazy feeling it would be to shave your head. So yeah, props to that lady or woman for her commitment to the character. So watch it just for that.
Yeah. But this season, from the first episode, what I'm gathering is, so it's a show about a circus run by Jessica Lange's character, and obviously weird stuff's going to be going on. But there's a killer clown in this series,
always
played by Stephen Lynch, the brother of Drew Carey. Something you would know. The guy who plays Drew Carey's brother.
Plays his brother.
Yep.
I was going to say his actual brother. No. Yeah, no, I know he's very tall guy.
Yeah.
Played a sometimes drag queen on the Drew Carey show.
And because it's a show about killer clowns, the American Clown Association has cracked the shits.
Oh my gosh. That is somewhat ridiculous, given that clowns knowledge, like they're clowns within the common psyche, are funny, innocent, and then killer, psycho, crazy clowns. That's a standard. So it's stupid that they would be doing that. What have they done though? Have they actually petitioned or?
I don't know. I just remember reading it during the week.
Fair enough.
They all went down in one car. There was 30 of them in the one car. Clowns. Yeah, so I watched that during the week. That was really good. I need to get off my ass and watch the second episode. Sold a whole bunch of shit on eBay.
So it worked? I
didn't sell everything, but...
Our advertising of your sales worked?
Let's say yes, for the sake of it. Yeah. Ridiculous how much stupid people will pay for my old toys. Like the ones that I thought would sell for the least ended up selling for the most. I had an old bunch of Scooby-Doo toys.
Yep.
Who wants that? That ended up going... I put it in there for $5, and it ended up going for $50. Ridiculous.
Will D&G see any of this money?
No, this will be going to the Keepdale Fed, and he's already paid for the next month.
That's a legit charity. That's fine.
It's a good charity. If anyone would like to donate to that charity, I will gladly take some money.
The link is here on YouTube.
Yeah, right there. Right there. Can you see it? It's invisible. There.
Yeah.
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 What else did I watch? Oh, I had downloaded this show ages and ages and ages ago called Bon Cop, Bad Cop.
Bon Cop, Bad Cop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bon being good in French.
Ah.
So it's a French Canadian show that. Well, it's just a lot of people recommended this show to me.
Have you got the maple leaf tattoo yet?
Not yet. No, not yet. No.
I imagine you waking up in the morning and it's been done to you, and then you're just like, cool.
I was on my dick.
You'd probably be able to get the red stripes as well on that. One stripe at the end, one stripe at the back, and then the flag, the maple leaf in the middle.
Yep.
That'd be a great tattoo.
Don't give her any ideas. Yeah, I'd had to wait ages because half the movie is in French.
Yep.
And half the movie is in English.
Ah.
So it's set in between the borders, like, French Canadian speaking and the English speaking. So,
What's it called?
Bon Cop, Bad Cop.
Bon Cop and Bad Cop. Yeah.
So I had to wait until I could watch it on a laptop where I could put the subtitles on. That's it.
Oh, instead of what? How else
Instead
would
of
you watch
watching it on the TV, because I downloaded a copy of it.
Yeah.
So I needed to watch it with subtitles for the moments when they're speaking in.
And you don't have.
No, I do.
No. You've just got a TV that you plug stuff.
Yeah,
USBs and stuff into. Oh,
yeah.
okay. Because we run the Mac Mini on the TV.
Yeah, you can do
subtitles
that way.
options always an option.
Yeah, VLC.
Yeah. All VLC all the time. That doesn't work, did it? See, this is why we need Brian to be
I know.
doing our tech stuff. Making the visual a little bit more interesting than just our pretty faces. So was it good?
It was really good.
Yeah?
It was really, really good.
You'd recommend it?
Yeah. It was. Brian would really like it. Actually, I don't know if Brian's seen it, but Brian, if you haven't, please watch it because it's kind of about hockey.
Ooh,
that's all I'm going to say.
Is it just? I'm not seeing in any of these pictures anything to do with hockey. So anyway.
Yes.
Well, for some reason, Hot Fuzz
Hot Fuzz is in there.
Gets a reference.
Yep.
That looks like a hockey mascot there.
That is a hockey mascot there.
So yeah. Anyway, Bon Cop.
Bad Cop.
Bad Cop. I made myself try and watch it.
Bon Cop, Bad Cop.
It reminds me based on that.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I know.
Who is she?
I don't know.
We'll go to that one there.
What about that one?
Below it.
Oh, okay. For fuck's sake.
Yeah,
You have got such a type.
Yeah, I do.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's such a creep. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of when you said the bilingual nature of the show. It reminds me a little bit of
Hey, we got thing.
we've
I'm
got
up for hire.
Brian is up for hire. I'm not sure what he's referring to, but if he wants to move to Melbourne,
Oh,
then
yeah.
he's more than welcome to sit in on the shows. But if you get the maple leaf on your cock, where are you going to get the cock tattoo we discussed?
We've talked about getting a tattoo of a cock on my cock, so
Yeah.
it'll be cockception.
Cockception.
It's a cock within a cock.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that like docking? A cock in a cock?
Cock and a cock docking.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we've gone lower class again.
We have.
I was going
And
to talk.
just to keep it on the lower class
Okay,
level.
good.
We have possibly discussed getting Matt to draw the cocks because he's very good at drawing
He is
cocks.
good at drawing cocks.
Yeah.
He does sort of conceptual Picasso style cocks.
He does.
Which is very good. Would he draw it directly onto your cock?
I would hope so.
You would hope so, yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to reference the slightly highbrow movie series that I was reminded of when you referenced Good Cop, Bad Cop. I think I've mentioned it before on the show, so it doesn't matter.
What was that?
Three Colours trilogy. Just
I didn't say it.
it's based in France, Belgium.
France. Is it
France.
based in France?
It's in France. France and Belgium. In a couple of places, so they changed the languages over. But because I'm a very English-orientated white person from Melbourne, I had no idea when they swapped languages because the subtitles still came up for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't know when they were swapping, but at times they made reference to the fact that they didn't understand each other, and I was like, but you're both speaking English in the subtitles. Great film series, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's going to be some more good movies coming out this year.
I have no idea. The only thing I'm only waiting for Batman, Superman, and Star Wars. They're the things that.
Yeah, but they're not coming out this year, are they?
No.
Okay, Brian, what else good's coming out this year?
Brian, help.
You're our pulse.
Brian, help.
I've already seen Sin City.
I still haven't got around to watching that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Batman v Superman is 2016, and I'm pretty sure so is Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Double penetration. Because if I have a cock tattooed on my cock, is it double penetration?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it double penetration? I don't know. I don't think it is. It's conceptual penetration, though. It's inceptual penetration.
Oh, cockceptual. Like a bisexual. Oh, just texting on your phone while we're in the middle of the show. How inappropriate.
Finally, someone wants to message me instead of everyone messaging you.
Hey, I keep my phone over there for now.
Yeah, I noticed that. That said, though, it's not too bad having it there. It's part of the show. It's our charm.
I know.
There are no rules to this.
There aren't.
There are no rules.
I'm still waiting to see if Brian's seen
Brian's
Bad Cop yet.
only half watching.
Well, it is 4 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Have you read Changing Ways yet? No. Did I lend you something else as well?
Yeah, Shutter Island. I forgot to give that back to you last week when you zoomed out for food, if I remember correctly.
Oh God, I had to get home. I was starving. Hey, Marvin.
So take Shutter Island.
Take that.
And I would say that I should lend you a Batman comic, but I don't have any of them here, I don't think.
Batman.
I did. No, I've got one here. Yeah, it's a Ra's al Ghul one that's not one of the classics. So I tried to lend that to you one time, but I didn't. It's not one that you need to read. So yeah. I'm feeling a little bit lost as to what
I'm still waiting for Brian to give us the updates on what movies are coming out.
Yeah, Brian.
If you've seen Bond Cop, Bad Cop.
Brian says that he's up for hire, but he's not really helping his cause at the moment.
Not good, Brian.
Not good at all.
Chris, ask us a question so that we can stump it on air.
Yeah, something not below the belt either, because I'd imagine. No, actually, that's Matt that used to do that.
Yeah.
Who clearly doesn't watch anymore.
Well, he's in Japan at the moment.
I know he's on holiday in Japan at the moment, but
he ate a black.
I did see that. Burger. Yeah. I did see the black burger and went to a karate competition or something.
Oh, here we go. Oh, he hasn't seen the movie I Spec Of.
He's Spec Of. That sounds a little bit. It sounds like Brian's busy. He's
Sorry,
just
Brian.
and he's just like, Dale.
I haven't seen the movie Spec Of.
Yeah, Dale. Look, I haven't seen it. Right? Leave me alone. I'm trying to do something here.
It is 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably getting into trouble. I imagine he's in bed, the missus is next to him, and she's like, I can't believe you're watching that show with those two Australians. Shut the hell up and go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Bloody Australians.
Fucking Australians. Stupid fucking country. If it wasn't for us, they'd be speaking Japanese.
What's a really Australian thing to say? I've got to bone up on my Australian vernacular for when I have to go overseas.
I think you just did it. Bone up.
Bone up.
That's a pretty Australian one.
Yeah.
True blue copper, mate.
True blue copper, mate.
Just call everyone mate.
There you go, mate.
You've got to get used to saying g'day whenever you see anyone.
Yeah.
But don't say it. My theory is don't say it g'day. Just go g'day, mate. G'day, mate. How you doing?
Hang on.
That kind of stuff. I think there's probably a bunch of stuff that you don't realise you're saying, because most people understand what you're saying and agree with you and talk to you. Whereas when you go overseas and you start saying something, Like if you were a smoker and you went overseas and you're like, oh, can I bum a fag?
You what?
They'd be like, well, I don't mind if I do. And you,
Buy me a drink first.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're overseas and you're like, oh, I've been drinking way too much, I've got to go drain the lizard.
Got to point Percy at the porcelain.
Exactly. I was blowing chunks, mate. That kind of stuff. Didn't we do this last week?
Probably.
We've got to get a new shtick.
I know. But the whole "that's not a knife, this is a knife,"
Yeah.
and the chuck another shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah.
I've never said those things in my life.
Well, I've never said the shrimp on the barbie thing because when you're having a barbie, you just get some meat and sausages.
Lamb and sausages.
Lamb, yeah. And that's not a knife. When have you ever been in a situation where a mugger has held a knife at you and said, "Give me your money," and then the lady you're with has said that he's got a knife?
That's not a knife.
And then, do you carry a knife that you can?
I don't usually carry a knife.
No.
A spoon, I do.
Yes.
Just in case.
Just so that you can pull out a spoon, and then they say, "That's not a spoon. That's not a knife," and you go, "Ah,
I see you've played knifey spoony before." Yeah.
And then, of course, you're best friends.
Yeah.
So yes, Brian is still listening. So he's gone with Dumb and Dumber 2.
Oh, Horrible Bosses 2. Yep.
Dumb and Dumber 2, I'm looking interested in. I hope it's not
The Last Hobbit. Yeah.
I hope it lives up to the expectation. The Last Hobbit makes it sound like The Last Avenger. That kind of thing. I've still got to watch Hobbit 1 and 2.
Yeah, see, it's really, really strange. I don't love the Lord of the Rings movies, but I like the Hobbit movies.
It's interesting.
Because you've seen Clerks 2?
Yes.
You know, the massive rant he goes on about how all Lord of the Rings are about walking.
Yep.
That is all it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm liking very much, and I'm totally gonna jinx this for myself. I'm liking the fact that in The Hobbit, Sean Bean hasn't died yet because he's not in it. But I'm just saying, you know how in the Hobbit movie a character dies every movie? You're like, why? Why can't they all just live?
So you're thinking of is in the Hobbit movie, somewhere else in Middle Earth, Sean Bean is still alive.
He's still alive.
Yeah, in that universe, yeah. I've got the Lord of the Rings on audiobook, and 2 years ago now, two or 3 years ago now, I went on a hiking trip to the Howqua River, and whilst I was hiking, I listened to the Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. So I spent about 8-9 hours of the day listening to Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
And I now, the other day, put it on and started on book 2 again, and it just took me straight back to being in the Howqua Howqua Valley, and just in the Australian bush. And so I've got a bit of a thing for the Lord of the Rings now. I in fact also bought the book, or bought a condensed version of all the books in one book the other day, which, given that I barely read, it's going to be interesting if I ever finish reading it. So yeah, I've got a thing for the Lord of the Rings, and I want to have a thing for the Hobbit, but for some reason I just have struggled to watch the 2 movies so far, but I do want to do it soon. Do you want to reference what Brian has posted?
Brian was just talking about how DC are doing 2 Justice League movies, and Marvel's saying that Iron Man's going to be in Captain America 3. Civil War much?
I was told that there is a potential for the Civil War storyline to be brought into the
next Captain America.
The Marvel movies was the way it was referenced to me. Is that the only place they can go? If they keep building the movies to be bigger and more epic than the last one, and now we're going to have this crossover and that crossover and all this kind of stuff, is that the only place they can go where they stay, right, let's combine the X-Men and the Avengers. Let's have them cross over. I get the feeling that movie makers have established that what they do in the comics is acceptable in the movies. So they can have the crossovers. They can have the character that you don't know exactly who it is, but it's a reference and only some people know. Mm-hmm. You can have the references to what happened in the past, that kind of stuff. So I think Civil War is quite possible. Mm. And it would be huge. They could do an epic trilogy or 6 parts.
Well,
I don't know how big the actual storyline is, but I'm just saying that they could build it with a little bit of Iron Man in Captain America 3, a little bit of this in that, and then just they could build it with so many.
yeah, true, Brian.
Yeah,
Where else would they go?
they can't get any bigger than to combine, because they combined with Avengers the first time multiple superheroes were in the same movie on that scale.
Yeah.
They can't go anywhere else but to combine 2 franchises. That's something that DC don't really have, because DC don't really have 2 franchises. They've only got the DC universe, and they're already combining their 2 big ones because they're trying to catch up to Marvel. Although, from what I've read, Batman vs Superman is the starting point for a Justice League universe.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a full Justice League movie, but there are going to be lots of the Justice League base main characters have all got movies coming up, which is kind of cool, especially when they try and redo. They try to do Green Lantern. That's going to be interesting.
I didn't mind Green Lantern.
I didn't fully dislike it, but it's going to be interesting. The other question is, if Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, can he still be Green Lantern?
Oh, they won't get him to do it again.
Yeah. That said, though, if he goes as Deadpool and has success there, it proves that you can be more than one superhero and you can have success going on. Because if Batman does well with Affleck under the suit, he was Deadpool. He was Daredevil, and he's come back as Batman. So yeah.
Yeah, and thinking, I was going to say, and switching from Marvel to DC, and Brian Reynolds is switching from DC to Marvel.
Yeah. Brian brings up a very valid point of Spider-Man is the only missing piece, plays a huge part in Civil War. Will Sony let go of Spider-Man?
No.
Will they keep just rehashing Spider-Man movies in order to keep Spider-Man? Or will they see sense and say, fine, you can have the character back, but we're still involved and we still want it cut? Because that's how much is that just the common sense thing? I feel sorry for the people that have to try and work that out. Because some genius at some point thought, we can't make these movies. Let's start selling some of these characters to people who can.
Yeah.
And now Marvel can make their own movies.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. It's very interesting.
Spidey.
And also, let's not include the other great franchise. Star Wars apparently has episodes 7, 8, 9 happening, but in between those 2 solo movies, possibly Boba Fett.
Han Solo movies?
Possibly a Boba Fett and a Han Solo movie. I'm going to ignore that joke.
Oh, come on. So is Harrison Ford playing Han Solo?
He is in episode 7, but the thought of the Solo movie is going to be prequel Solo. It's going to be a new person playing Solo as a young man. My thought, if they're smart, is that they will, in episode 7, have flashbacks to when he was younger, and that'll be the setup for it. Because then it'll be, that person, I know him as Han Solo in this movie. I'm going to now see him as Han Solo in his own movie. So yeah.
Are they all going to be alright? Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher look a bit beat up.
Yeah, but anyone who's watching this on the recorded version, the YouTube version, this is the point at which you probably lost us when you were watching it live. And I say that only to Brian because everyone else is gone, because we're probably really boring tonight. Because we've lost the internet connection. It said we did, but now we're perfect streaming, so I don't know what's going on. And it looks like we've gone back in time, like Chris was saying just there. What were we saying? Han Solo stuff. My assumption is that as a someone who knows the extended universe in a small version, light version, I think that's probably somebody telling you that you've lost connection.
Or that my phone is fully charged.
That too. The extended universe versions of old Han, Leia, and Luke are still really cool and interesting because they become Jedis. Luke and Leia become Jedis. Luke is a big deal in the Jedi, the rehashing and the recreating of the Jedi Council. They rebuild the temple that Anakin went through and killed everything. Luke has a kid with Mara Jade. Han and Leia have 3 kids, 2 twins who are Jedi and another Jedi, which I need to get onto that storyline because I still don't know a full bit about Anakin Solo. Yeah, they called him Anakin Solo. There's a big storyline with Anakin, but which I'm not fully at liberty to talk
discuss,
about.
yeah.
Mainly because there's a big spoiler, and the big spoiler is the only thing I know.
Is that Luke is the father?
That would be funny though. Broadcast has ended apparently, so I don't know what this episode's going to be. I think in an hour 20, this is time to call it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with how we went.
No, it's good, but I want to know. Do you reckon that Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill will be alright? Because Mark Hamill had that horrible car accident. That's why he does all these awesome voiceover jobs now. But then again, that was in the 80s when Star Wars was still at its peak.
They've apparently all had personal trainers helping them get back in shape and get healthy.
Cool.
And they've all signed on, and they're all... I mean, there was an image that came out of Hamill with a beard, and he had a very Obi-Wan look to him.
Yeah.
He had a beard and black robes.
Okay.
And if he's got the black robes, then that references some of the EU as well. So I think...
European Union.
Extended universe. You idiot. I think even though... Disney have said the extended universe is done. We're now going off in a different timeline. I think they're taking, just like in Batman books and movies, they take little
liberties.
They take little liberties. They take things and they include them in their storyline. So I've got good hopes for it. I think.
Is it a new hope?
It is a new hope.
Good.
But it was a new hope a bunch of months ago, so now it's an old hope. Now it's a Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, good.
Anyway,
Right.
thank you for watching this on the YouTube because you're not watching this on the live stream right now. Please let us know via the Facebook. Go to D&G Podcast. If you search on the Facebook, you'll find us. That is the best way to get in touch with us. No emails, none of that kind of stuff. Send us stuff to put up on the wall.
Yep, money.
Send us money. Give us ideas of what you're going to pay for. Tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel, 6 p.m. Sunday for D&G20.
That's it.